You're an Irish TV channel, so I don't want to mess them up, huh? I hate to say it, but I always pick wrestlers whenever they're going against a striker, because this is actually going to be the first McGregor fight that has tested his not only wrestling aspect, but also a great striker that can transition into wrestling. And that's what I say to McGregor fans, is that if he can withstand this, then he might have the belt for a very long time. You know what I mean? Because we know he has the striking aspect of it. Can he defend some takedowns? Can he get off his back? Can he do all these things that we don't know yet? You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm like, I don't care about the fighter and what he says and what he does. I like seeing what happens inside the octagon. And McGregor so far has been very consistent on what he wants to do and what he needs to do. And so I can't wait to see Saturday night and see who wins the belt. You know what I mean? Because it's going to be a fun fight.
So my prediction for the main event between Conor McGregor and Chad Mendes is, this is a tough one. I think that Conor McGregor is a brilliant striker, is an elite striker. We just haven't seen him against the elite wrestlers and grapplers in the division. He finally gets that against Chad Mendes. And, the only thing I can really go on when I'm predicting fights is what we've seen up to this point. There's a big question mark on how Conor can deal with countering the wrestling skills of Chad Mendes. And Chad Mendes is more than just a wrestler. He can knock you out as well. And I think having that double threat will pose some problems for Conor. And I'm picking Chad Mendes to win by decision.
He hasn't fought really nobody in the top five besides, you can argue Seaver or Holloway, but that wasn't really top 10, top 5. So this is going to be his biggest challenge.
You must know exactly how Conor McGregor feels. You've had Jose Aldo play a fight against you in the past. How frustrating will this be for Conor?
It's not frustrating. Conor's about to get a world title. And he gets to fight a guy who's training for 3 weeks. It's actually it's a blessing for him. He's going to be on top of the world, and then he still gets to fight Jose Aldo if he wins. If he loses, now Chad Mendes is on top of the world, and Chad Mendes stepped in. We don't know. That's the thing MMA. If I had to guess who I would pick, Chad's my boy. I love Chad Mendes. He only got 3 weeks, though. Somebody that's training for 2 months, 3 months, that has a great skill set. Never's really actually seen a wrestler. It's going to be hard to tell. I want to say Chad Mendes, but at the same time, McGregor's style is just different.
I think Conor's going to stop Chad Mendes in the second round with balls on his forehead.
I think Conor McGregor is going to win by TKO in the third round.
The fight being an easy decision for Conor. I think Chad can be broken, and I think his style, the distance, those kicks, the straight kicks, the side kicks, the spinning kicks are going to make Chad very hesitant, and then he'll be broken by the end of the second round and be able to survive enough to lose a majority decision.
My thoughts on Mendes McGregor, geez. I'll be honest, I'm shocked they made the fight. I think it's a dangerous fight for Conor. I think for Conor to have become champion when he was fighting Aldo, I think he had to beat Aldo. You always got to beat the champ. He believes he could have done it. I definitely think he could. I didn't think it was going to be easy. But he's never fought a wrestler. It's the same things you always hear. He's never fought a wrestler. They don't know how he's going to be able to do, stuff in a takedown. I think he's such a great athlete, though. I don't think he's worried about it. And he's a smart guy. He comes from a great camp. So I'm sure it's not like they've just been punching and kicking his entire career. I'm sure he trains wrestling. To me, I think the more interesting factors are, because Mendes was given the fight on short notice, is he a guy that has to get ready, or is he a guy that stays ready? How much weight did he have to cut? How is his camp? McGregor's been dialed in. He knew he had this fight. He's been training his ass off. He's been here in Vegas for weeks. Mendes is kind of like the wild card. That being said, it'll be interesting to see if Mendes' gas tank doesn't give out somewhere in the third, if it goes to the third. I got tremendous respect for both guys. I'm friends with a lot of the guys that Mendes trains with. I got nothing bad to say about either guy. I really think this isn't going to be an easy fight for either guy. I'm excited to see it. And like I said, I'm shocked UFC made it. If Mendes wins, and I think UFC gets criticized a lot unjustly for saying that they give guys stylistic fights. Well, you got what you want now. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna see. He's fighting a wrestler, and he's not just fighting a wrestler. He's probably fighting the number 2 guy in the division. Who's he lost to? He's lost to Aldo. He's lost to the champ. So it's gonna be a real.
What's your final prediction?
What's that? My final prediction.
Here we go, Punk.
We're not putting money on this, right? I'm not a gambling guy. I honestly really think it's either guy's fight. I think the first guy to make a mistake is probably going to lose. I think there's so much momentum though behind McGregor. I think I'll go with him. I'll go with McGregor, but it's not going to be easy.
Joseph Benavidez here. My prediction for McGregor Mendes. Obviously Mendes, that's my training partner. I know what he's capable of in the gym. I've seen him train. I've seen how hard he works. And the guy's a bad man, so he's just going to go out there and show it. Even if he wasn't my best friend, and I love him dearly, and I wasn't that close to him, I would look from the outside in as any other fighter, and I'd give Mendes the advantage, and just the fact he has more ways to finish the fight. Conor's an awesome fighter, great skill, but I don't think he's ever fought anyone with Chad, and the matchup's just bad as far as the wrestling goes. Chad can strike and hit and knock anyone out, but he can also take anyone down at any time. So, I think it'll be the first look to see how Conor is on the ground, and that'll be interesting because it's definitely going to go to the ground because Mendes can control the fight wherever it is. But I still think Mendes comes away with the knockout.
McGregor and Mendes. It's a tough fight because Conor is one of those guys, you either love him or you're going to hate him. It's not in between with Conor. Mendes, you can't help but love the guy. See what he's done against so many of the top guys. Gave Jose Aldo a run for his money. He's fought the best of the best so far to get where he is. I definitely see Mendes as the winner because he's been through that battle. And, just in my own opinion, Conor hasn't fought the best of the best yet. So, when you're an athlete, you've seen the ups and downs of some of these fighters and been through hell and back. You kind of understand what they've gone through and you see what they fought. And I don't think Conor has been there. He might have been there through training, been through some of the toughest battles always in training. And I'm not saying he's had any easy fights in the UFC, but I don't think he's fought the caliber of fighters that Mendes is and Jose Aldo is. But I like Conor's style. He's basic. He doesn't try and do any showboating. He goes out there and he does what he has to do to get the job done. So I definitely respect it. But I think it's still kind of night and day when it comes down to style. Fight. But I think it'll be a good fight, but I think that that's
this is an interesting matchup. I thought McGregor had the edge fighting Aldo, but it's a whole different style and a whole different fight. The first round's going to tell a lot how he moves and defends Mendes' shots and clinches and stuff. But I'm leaning towards Mendes in this one. Maybe not finishing out McGregor, but decisioning him, putting him on his back and giving him trouble. McGregor's an incredible athlete, good balance, flexible. I'm sure he can scramble well and get out of stuff. He's probably having great cardio. But it's a different beast, man, fighting somebody with that kind of wrestling background. I don't think Conor's faced anybody like that.
See them fight. It's very interesting from everyone is that he's so confident. He believes everything that he's saying. It's not an act. With a guy like Chael Sonnen, it's like you saw behind the curtain. You knew that Chael was almost talking and playing a character. The Conor McGregor you see this is real. This is that guy. And he believes that he's going to go in there and knock out Chad Mendes. The problem is Chad Mendes has only lost to Aldo. And everyone else, he dominated. So for me, it's very difficult to pick against a guy like Mendes who has beaten guys like Nick Lynch when he was number 6 in the world. Ricardo Lamas knocked him out when he was number 3 in the world, and Chad was number 1. I mean, he is knocking out guys that are ranked 1, 2, 3 right behind him. It's hard to pick against that guy. I think matchup-wise, Jose Aldo was a better matchup for Conor McGregor than Chad Mendes.
So Mendes,
You know, man, I picked Mendes on UFC Tonight yesterday, but now I'm starting to change a little bit. I don't know. I'm picking McGregor. I don't know. Like, I really don't know it. Those are the fights that you enjoy. The ones where you just cannot decide who's going to win. And that's exactly what we have this weekend. We have 2 guys that are very deserving of being champions. It's like Jose Aldo has handcuffed that belt for so long. And these 2 guys are deserving of being called champion. It's just unfortunate that Aldo didn't make it.